welcome to the Screaming Props podcast.
First ever.
Yeah, first episode.
Trial run.
This is very much a trial run. We're at the Fulford Arms pub in York, on Fulford Road, on the south side of York. Yeah. They've kindly let us use their snug room.
It's ideal.
It's pretty good. It's really cosy. It's very nice to have a pint in and chill out. So I'm Dan. I'm an FPV drone pilot based here in York. I've started my own business called Airhart High Media, and part of the reason we want to start this podcast is to tell our stories and of how we get into commercial stuff and things. And I'll hand over to...
So I'm Luke, much the same as Dan. General FPV pilot. I guess my background was more the RC planes and stuff, was where my interest in the hobby came from, and I think you actually came down to the flying club in like the early days of my FPV kind of thing. But yeah, got hooked as soon as I put on a pair of goggles and saw that you could essentially sit in the cockpit of an aircraft, and all of a sudden my my 100-pound pieces of foam became like real planes I could sit in almost. So yeah, that's what got me into the world of FPV, and naturally progressed into home built stuff and freestyle and racing, although I could never keep up with the racing guys, yourself included.
Well, they're all fast, they're all too fast.
And yeah, basically now I kind of took a bit of a break from the RC world, really, and yeah, realised I couldn't kind of live without it, basically. So yeah, took the plunge and kind of got back into the world of FPV, but wanted to take more of a cinematic role rather than slinging it round trees and just going crazy to some heavy metal soundtrack. And yeah, try and make something of it. So yeah, much the same as yourself. Set up.
Yeah. It is addictive. That's the main
that's
thing.
it. Yeah,
I've done the same over the last couple of years. Tried to step away from it and focus on other things, whether that be career or other hobbies, whatever. And I've always come back to it, and so it's one of those things.
Yeah, I couldn't get away with it. I mean, it was like beginning of lockdown. We bought a camper van. Whenever it was nice weather, we were out in the camper van. The planes wouldn't fit in alongside the missus and kids, so that was all the more reason to buy small drones that would fit in a backpack and get back into it that way. Yeah. And naturally, kind of exploring some nice scenery in a camper van and also getting to fly it at the same time. So that's how it.
Yeah, sounds pretty cool.
Kickstarted the passion again, pretty much. Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to have a break from things as well. Like sometimes you just get overloaded with it if you're doing it all the time. It can become all consuming.
It's funny. I was listening to, like I mentioned to you earlier, Onigiri's podcast, and one of her episodes. I didn't listen to it, but one of her episodes was it was titled something like The Inevitable FPV Burnout, and the description was it was essentially writer's block of the FPV world kind of thing. Just hitting a wall, but
I think you do. Even if you're in the racing side, you go to races, like if you don't necessarily, you might be improving, like usually going to more racing stuff does help you improve, but if you don't feel like you're improving, if you feel like you've hit that wall, that's kind of like you do just have to kind of step back a bit. I felt like I hit that a couple of times, and then again with like freestyle stuff, you kind of go out and you might fly the same few places and you go, okay, what's next, what sort of thing.
I always remember from the racing days, it was like the guys would tell me, it was like everybody was like, I don't know, it was like always felt like I was always trying to keep up with kind of current trends, and it's like I just got used to like flying without any kind of accelerometer on and without any sort of stabilization, and now guys were already talking about turning accelerometer completely off, and I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, just trying to keep up in the world of racing and the trends and typical hype train kind of stuff.
I feel like the hype train has died a little bit. There's cool new products coming out now, but they're kind of like diminishing returns in some sense. Like some of the stuff, or some of it's like, oh, that's a really good product because it combines some really amazing features that are already there, and it gives you something that work together. Like new radios that are coming out with like Express RLS built in, so you can have all those. You don't have to bother with extra modules and things, and it's a really solid system. I've been using it a fair bit myself, but.
I kind of took it, as I say, coming back into it, I took the easy route back in. I'd had enough time out of it that I'd lost touch and took the easy route back in, just buying DJI stuff that was turn all 3 items on and it works. but that's it. It's out of the box. It works, and I'm.
But that's what you want. You get exactly. You can literally just. It's the fastest way to go right straight back into it. Get flying, and the less you have to faff with stuff, and the more stick time you can get and air time you can get.
Yeah.
It's just a winner, isn't it? Really,
definitely.
I like tinkering with stuff, so I'm happy to sit and wait for my hook up like with Express LRS. It's like hook my receivers up to my home Wi-Fi network and then update them all and stuff. It's all like it's all mental, but it's cool features, but like it's cool because it's nerdy. I like
it. Totally good features.
Yeah,
I like it.
Okay. So getting back to the podcast, I guess, and talking about trying to have some sort of structured conversation so it doesn't rabble on too long. But we can talk about sort of what we're doing at the moment. So I mentioned that my business is Airhart Media. I've been trying to get out and film some things and work with some people. I wanted to kind of give you the floor and to talk about your side.
So my business is Airhart High Flying Media. And it's kind of a rolling project for me at the moment. Just putting the feelers out there amongst. I guess I've started locally really currently. Be it local businesses, whether it's indoor stuff might be able to film, outdoor stuff that might be able to be filmed. I guess trying to almost the type of I'm at now is trying to build up a portfolio essentially to kind of showcase what this FPV world is capable of, because I think a lot of people I don't know, a lot of people have kind of bog standard drone photography and video and stuff, and I think the pilots that have come from a racing background and kind of freestyle background, they definitely have an edge, much like me. Yourself
I think so. Even if you pick up like a DJI drone, you're quickly like, okay, I can do that, and you can do some sweeping shots. You can do like the orbital things, and you're not relying on the inherent DJI systems to kind of manage those
to guide you through it.
But then I also, on the flip side of that, speak to people, and people have no idea what FPV drones are, and you're kind of having to walk through people. When you contact people on email, you're kind of like giving them enough information they can kind of understand what you're doing, and it's different to normal drone stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
But also not giving them like an essay on why it's different and what value it adds and things like that. And
I did some stuff recently for a local like hot air balloon company, and just one of the like establishing shots was literally, it was at York Racecourse, and it's just low level and fast.
Yeah.
Just
they're the best shots,
feet off the ground and the balloons in the distance. And when you're watching this first clip, it's kind of like the balloon isn't. You don't realise the balloon's there. It's not the subject at first because you're watching all this grass just whizzing past, and slowly just kind of climb up a little bit. The grass seems to slow down a little bit as you kind of leave the ground, and then you realise there's a hot air balloon involved in all this. But it's like I say, I think that's. I guess I'm not saying I don't know. I guess we dare do that, because we've had that experience of flying through low gates at 100 mile an hour, and
I don't know how you feel like it's hard. I've not really spoken to anyone who has come at FPV from the film angle, if you like. So we're coming at the film angle from FPV world, whereas it's the other alternative perspective. Yeah. And whether it's like, oh well, I've just got to fly these shots that the director wants, so I'm just going to do it anyway. And it maybe not their gear, I don't know, maybe they can feel they can take the risk, or they're just told what to. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just purely speculating, but
that's it. I feel like where we'd be the creative mind, not the. Maybe, you may have some sort of director that has an idea, but
actually that's true. Yeah, they have an idea of a shot they want, and then you kind of take their feedback, and you kind of have that creative input. But
that's it.
At the end of the day, you're the one still controlling the drone. And it's your ability to control the drone that gives that creativity.
Yeah, 100%.
And flair, if you like.
100%. What was the film I watched the other day? It was one you mentioned.
It was The Grey Man.
Yes. Yeah. And there was a load of drone stuff in that you can easily spot if you're a drone guy. You pick it out straight away. But it's nice to see it used in that.
It's been used in all sorts. There's a new series like The Sandman, I think's one. There's loads of stuff in that.
Yeah.
And then I think the new Game of Thrones, I think's got some stuff in it as well. But it's only the first episode dropped so far, so we'll see how much it plays a role in the series as a whole. But
I've always wanted to chase a dragon. So.
Yeah, even if it's not real.
Oh, yeah, that'd just be cool.
It's an imaginary dragon. That's what we got into FPV, to chase dragons through the sky. That cloud looks like a dragon. I'm going to chase it. Oh no, I fail-safed. The grass again.
Lost it. Yeah, it's nice to see it getting used more and more in the big wide world.
Yeah.
I'd like to know who the pilots were, involved in those, like you say, the Grey Man and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think if
it's a known name or somebody that's been.
Yeah, I think a few of them are known
created.
names. I think, there's a new one, the Day Shift. That's Tommy. Oh my God, FPV, because he's done a whole video on like behind the scenes.
Sweet.
I think like Red Notice.
Yeah, that was one of the first.
That
ones
was Johnny FPV.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
But yeah, I'm not sure who did. Grey Man. So we'll have to look into it.
Yeah.
And see.
Research.
But there's a lot going on, and there's more pilots getting into it, and like I say, like from both sides. There's either FPV guys going into the cinema world, or cinema guys picking up FPV as a tool to use.
Yeah.
And then there's the rest of us with our GoPros and Cinewhoops and DJI FPVs trying to.
Yeah,
pick
I'm
up the
still.
scraps.
yeah. I'm still eagerly awaiting the when we can get our hands on the GoPro bones over here. That'll be.
That'll be a bit of a game changer, I think. For
I think that'll be a nice, worthy purchase.
You can get, I think Flywoo do a stripped down GoPro 10 you can buy.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to have the GoPro bones, because what I feel like with the Flywoo one, they just need to change the case so that you can run the standard ND filters rather than no little circular ones.
At the moment.
No, so that what I found with, and I haven't got the GoPro 10, but I've got a GoPro 10, but not a stripped down version.
Yeah.
But I have got an Insta360 SMO 4K.
Okay, yes.
And if you use the ND16 filter, like if you use it on like a 4K 4:3 aspect ratio, if you use it with the standard ND filter that comes with it, you get like a vignette around the edge.
Okay, right.
Whereas I 3D printed a bracket to go on the front.
Right.
To use the normal GoPro ones.
Yeah, got it.
And once I did that, it got.
So it's the vignette coming off the frame kind of thing.
Yeah, off the frame of the lens of the filter rather than the actual filter effect itself. But as soon as I use the GoPro ones on it, that effect is gone.
Nice.
So I'm adding a couple of grams for having this attachment on to the ND filter, but it does clean up that, so you can use the full frame.
I think this could be as I venture back into this world, I think my first build is going to be some sub 250.
Yeah, I mean the ones you can buy off the shelf are really decent, and it saves you a lot of time, and they're pretty cheap to be honest, like for what they are.
Yeah, all in ready to go kits. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Especially because FPV is a big hurdle if you're someone getting into it and you've not got the goggles, you've not got the radio, and you've still got to buy the drone or a couple of drones. Yeah, whereas if you've already got the radio and goggles, you can just go and buy them.
Yeah, just add some more birds to the fleet. Yeah,
basically. And the binder flies are pretty good now. I've got two. I've got the Beta FPV Pavo 25 and the ProTech 25. The Pavo 25's good, but the ProTech 25 seems to just have a bit more grunt to it. Seems to be a bit. It can carry a full GoPro 10 quite happily.
Nice.
The Pavo struggles a bit. I know that's because I think it's partly to do with the camera mounts and stuff on it are all TPU, so the GoPro mount sits directly on the TPU, and it's quite quite a lot of weight for the TPU to carry.
Gotcha.
So
I can't remember what it was. It was Bardwell that was flying a little the eight motors. What I didn't want to call it an octa because it's not really.
The X8 thing.
Yeah, I can't remember what that was, but it had shocking flight times. It was great. It had decent amounts of grunt to it, and it was tiny. But I think he got a minute 40 out of it or something. Yeah. It was pretty shocking.
No, even with a full Hero 10 on the ProTech, you can get 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
That's nice.
I mean, you kind of rely, at the moment I'm relying heavily on the A1 transitional stuff for the UK, being able to fly something sub 500 grams close to people, but you can get with the Insta360 cam or a naked Hero 10, if you could use the same. On the Pavo 25 with a 650 battery, you can get that sub 250, and that's pretty cruisy.
Nice.
And it's much quieter. The ProTech's super loud.
Right. Yeah, that's it. The
The pushers are a bit quieter.
The smaller you get.
The pusher configuration, so the Pavo's a pusher, so it's got the motors upside down.
Okay.
Pushing all the air down. Yeah. And that's quite a lot quieter than having it with the ProTech, which is on the.
Is it one with the angled kind of frame to it? You know, like
Yeah,
round
that's the
prop
ProTech.
guards.
Yeah, so the ProTech one's the one, the angled ones.
Yeah.
The Beta FPV one's like more rounded sort of
Okay.
shape, but they're not like the Shen drones one where the props actually dig into the ducts or any of that nonsense. So
Yeah. I get you.
it's very much basic, but it flies pretty well.
Nice.
And then sort of the 5-inch, and I'm working on a 7-inch at the moment, but it's just the frame is super flexy with 7-inch props on it, so
right,
it just wants to kill itself.
Fold up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you mentioned like you've done stuff with the Yorkshire balloon flight stuff. Have you got any other things you've done recently?
Well, I got an exciting one lined up with a local paintballing
Nice.
like arena, if you like, through forested area with a few like forts and stuff like that.
Cool,
so again, it could be some nice nice shots through wooded areas, through to almost indoor shots through wooden forts, through across bridges and
cool,
things like that. So yeah, that's
Just get your drone paintballed.
Yeah, this is the only thing that concerns me. I think as much as you can brief people and be like, please don't shoot my drone. I think if I was the guy behind the gun and some other loony was flying a drone, I'd be like, oh, sorry mate, I didn't. Yeah.
It just went
These
off.
paintballs are unpredictable, mate. Honest.
This whole round of paintball just suddenly went off your drone.
So yeah, I might have to pick and choose what I fly that day. Yeah, there's a few nice things coming up. A guy that I work with in my full-time job has just come out of the woodwork that he's into his base jumping and parachuting and stuff like that. So intrigued to see where he does it. He's part of like some sort of national recognised club. I can't remember the name of it, but he goes to like the coast of Ireland. That's on like I'm sure he said it was like a gliding site, and then they close the gliding operations for a weekend kind of thing and open it up to basically skydivers and base jumping, so the skydivers can go up in the plane and jump back down, and the other guys just throw themselves off the cliff and then land on the beach at the bottom.
That's mad.
So that'd be a cool experience trying to chase something like that. I think a few runs definitely of I don't know. I've chased plenty of planes, plenty of other vehicles, if you like, but yeah, never a person suspended beneath a bit of fabric I'm flying with these spinny knives.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would always put me off. Like, I think
I'd be very cautious.
Yeah, I think it's all right with like HD. I think it's okay because you can see the tiny wires that are coming off into the fabric. Like flying analog, it's like, oh, I wouldn't want to do that. You can see this bit of fabric and this like pixelated human being, and then nothing else.
But yeah, what else? I've approached various people. Some people. I guess it's just industry. I think a lot of people are busy in certain industries at the moment, and
a lot of people on holiday.
That's true.
What
people
found.
cramming in extra holidays.
You finally get through to someone at this company that you've been emailing for a couple of weeks, and they go, "Oh yeah, this person's going to do all that," but they're not back till for a week on whenever.
That's it. Yeah.
So you kind of have to keep following up and just chasing.
I seem to have found that the most kind of returns I've had are from the kind of outdoorsy, adventure-y kind of places already. Like foot golf, I got a reply straight away. The outdoor stuff in the hot air ballooning straight back to me. And I think it's guys that maybe it's people that maybe have that, I don't know, outdoorsy mindset already. And maybe there's
it's well suited to that though as well. I think they're kind of like they're like, how can I make myself stand out more? I was like, I know I can use this new technology.
I think some people as well
and they'll see it in like if they follow things like skiing or like
that's it. I think a lot of people now it's becoming more mainstream. They're then noticing, like say if somebody follows skiing. I think sometimes you won't necessarily click that it's a drone shot, or it could be a camera on a rail or anything. But then every now and then you'll see this shadow, of a drone going up the ski slope and stuff. And it's I think then if you land an email offering services to somebody that's seen it, but not actually known kind of what it is and stuff like that, and all of a sudden you land on their doorstep, I think that's when they kind of go, brilliant. Yeah.
And then there's the other what we were talking about earlier. There's the other people as well who are the people who are just have that mindset of like that vision of kind of like the shots they want to get, and then you reach out to me like, oh, I've got this FPV drone, like, oh, that's the perfect thing I've wanted to use. That's the tool we're looking for. Because even if you reach out to marketing places and you talk about these ideas and stuff, you just don't necessarily get the hits. It doesn't necessarily resonate with people in the way you think it would.
I remember whose video it was I saw now, and it was on like a private airfield. It was in the US somewhere. Yeah. But they'd done a really nice, smart job, and it was like all the internal choreographs and stuff around this club. You know, there was like he flew around a briefing room, around like the bar area, the coffee place, and like outdoor seating area. But then it like went through the hangars. There was guys pushing out like a tail dragger aircraft. And it kind of went through it, almost through a couple of hangars, through like a workshop bit and stuff, while there was like oil dripping out the sump of an aircraft, and I just went underneath that, and then it peeled out the end of the hangar and went round to the grass runway, and this little like, you know, short takeoff light aircraft kind of thing just tracked that down the runway as it went off. But that was so good. I think, you know, if you approached an airfield, I think it's a complete hit on this subject. I think if you say, can I come and bring my drone and fly it around your planes? I think it would have been like, no.
Even if you went to like just general flying clubs, like model flying clubs, if you say, can I film a drone? They'd be like, no.
Exactly. Like, somebody's pride and joy. They don't want me.
But that's it. And but there are people, like I've heard stories of people who that they are doing that. They film drone shots of planes for like high, you know, for aviation sales and all that sort of stuff.
Too right.
It's
so it can be done. I think
it can be done safely, and I guess in a way. But it's being able to reach out to people and be like, kind of have that caveat, being like, oh, by the way, this is all totally safe. Like,
exactly. I think that's it. You could land the email with, you know, you could contact somebody that you reach out to, and they could have complete appreciation for drone world. Maybe have a drone themselves and fly model aircraft and kind of understand this side of stuff, and already understand the logic in that it can be planned right and it can be done right. But then I think on the flip side, I guess drone is still a pretty dirty word, really, isn't it? It's and it can be shot. It can be shot down. That's it. Exactly. All the Christmas cancelled flights and it's just like I say, I think that's sent shockwaves through the community, really, and anything after that's kind of struggled again.
It'd be interesting to see, because obviously there's the Skyway as well was announced a couple of weeks ago now, which was the kind of 265k or 265 miles
something like that
of through the Midlands of drone
highway.
Drone highway. So these drones are going to have the ability. It's all mostly autonomous flight of deliveries of products. I think Boots and the NHS are so far on board with doing deliveries with it, which is pretty exciting. But there's definitely this animosity towards drones as well. Like
100%.
So it's going to be interesting to see whether people are just going to be sat in their gardens like throwing sticks at them, or
taking pot shots with with a catapult somewhere.
Speaking of which, there was I don't know if you saw it. There's a thing going around Facebook. I think it was only like yesterday, but there was a commercial drone operator who was taking some photos of a house, and this bloke comes out, and the drone is
just the guy with the gun.
Yeah, the guy with the gun.
I flicked past it on social media earlier today. I saw somebody had taken screenshots of it, and I kind of I saw it and just kind of dismissed it. But no way.
No, I was like, that was in the UK, and the guy was trying to explain, no, I'm just taking a picture of his house, so I'm allowed to be here.
That's bad.
And the guy was like, no, you're over my house, and had this air rifle, finger on the trigger. Like, I thought it was just an air rifle, I think, in the end. But like how. And maybe that was kind of, and people were saying, oh, you know, you should have gone around and spoken to the neighbours and stuff. So you don't necessarily have time for that. Like, from what I've heard from estate agent work, they literally want you to, they're paying you like £18.
So you're literally
just get in. Basically, you're not there for much more than the time.
And then the thing is, you can quite easily do all that legally, well above board. And
most people wouldn't bat an eyelid. Like most people, you could do that and they wouldn't even notice.
No.
So he's obviously in his garden, flinging his air rifle. Just waiting. And apparently taking like 3 shots there before he even came over.
Wow.
To be like... And I guess if it was an actual gun, you'd have heard the shots properly go off. So you'd be like, oh, actually, I'm going to now. Someone's like, But But 3 shots with an air rifle, would you have heard it? I don't know.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, if you're committed on flying your drone, you probably wouldn't have. I don't know. You wouldn't have maybe snapped out of your concentration really if it was just a few cracks of an air rifle or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
But otherwise, like, even though I've been flying FPV and been out and about, like, people are generally pretty chilled. Like, they come over and interested. Like,
definitely.
You know.
That's it. I mean, I remember, back in the early days, most people were interested. Definitely, before, like you say, before the Heathrow Christmas cancelled flights.
Even after then, people.
Touch wood. I've not had a negative experience. More people interested, and as soon as you put the goggles on them and give them a fly in the seat, that tended to be what it was like at race events and stuff like that. You drag somebody along to watch, they wouldn't think much of it, but then you put the goggles on and.
Well, it's quite funny. I was at a skate park in Leeds the other week filming some stuff for there. Like, they'd opened like a whole new outdoor bit.
Nice.
And we're getting some like FPV shots for that. And there was this one kid who was sat there, and I said, "Oh, you can see us in the drone." And I put the goggles on and stuff. I just had like a little screen. I was just hovering about for a minute.
Yeah.
And he was like, he took the goggles and said, "No, I want to watch the drone." So the opposite. He was like, "This is boring."
Cool.
I was like, "Fine, each their own." Like, nice. Totally cool.
Yeah. I guess it can be fun to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got the paintball job coming up, but you got any other plans to just fly generally, recreationally?
Yeah, definitely. So the camper van I mentioned, I'm away in that over the next couple of weeks.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, just travel a bit of the East Coast and find some spots for some nice coastal shots. I guess I think it's always nice. I always like cliffs and sea and waves. There's always something about it. I guess the nature shots. It always looks good, and I think we've just gone through this. We've just gone through like harvest season, haven't we? Evidently, and like plowed fields and cut crops and stuff like that, and like rolling hills with hay bales on and stuff, just in the right light and stuff. It just looks ace. I'm always on the lookout for things like that. So you
don't have to worry about losing your drone in the crop as well.
Exactly. It's cut nice and short.
That's it.
So a few recreational flights and things definitely over the next. Nice. Couple of weeks. What about yourself? Anything?
Racing this weekend. So I haven't raced for a few weeks now. I kind of got out for a fly with the guys over at Hull last weekend. Just kind of threw a few gates up, and it was super windy.
Yeah.
But the drones took pretty well. So I had to fix a couple of things since the last event, which was ages ago. The last time I flew at Hull before last weekend was like the Jubilee weekend in June. So it'd been a fair while, blew the cobwebs off. Nice. Everything's working, ready for. I'm off to Bristol this weekend to race. So it's
lovely. Great. I do miss the racing world. It was a really nice. Well, I say it was because I'm not doing it anymore. It still is a really cool community. It's like I've never been amongst guys that were so helpful. Like my first couple of races and stuff.
Yeah, it still is.
Smashing up drones left, right, and centre, and people would be bringing me spare parts and like literally desoldering motors off their own quad to get me up for the next race and stuff. And
it's definitely still very much the same sort of vibe and community. And I'm the same. Like, I'm really bad for it. Like, I give out unsolicited advice, whatever. If someone's like, "Oh, this drone's doing this," I'm like, "You need to fix this." And I'm like, they're not even speaking to me. I speak to the person like 10 meters away, and I'm just there like, "Fix this." I'm really bad for it, but when you've got an interest in it, you just want to
definitely
help people and
know what you mean
and do stuff and it's a bit of a shame this year's obviously coming off the pandemic. This year's drone season started really well, like racing season. There were quite a lot of pilots signing up for stuff. Yeah. And before the pandemic, people used to be a race to sign up for a race, and actually put a thing on IFPV.
Right.
Which, if you want to sign up for racing, go on ifpv.co.uk. There's a calendar. You can see the races coming up and what's going when. That's the main racing sign up page and for events and things. But they even have a thing on there where if you're in the first 3 or 5 to sign up, you get access to the mini game.
Okay.
So the browser. So it's just it got so competitive on the sites. Whereas now, Delta Hawks had cancelled their event in the end, but I think even 2 weeks ago they only had 4 sign-ups.
Oh wow.
It was really bad. So,
like you say, everyone's on holiday,
and that's in the Midlands. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
Everyone's now taking all the holidays they couldn't have for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So they've kind of put drone racing on the back burner, or their
Yeah,
families have forced them to put it on the back burner. That's probably more the case.
Yeah.
And so hopefully next year it's going to pick up more, and also they made it this year, so you didn't have to do 5 rounds, but 5 rounds counted towards your qualification for nationals.
Right.
Whereas before I think it was 3.
Yeah.
So they've upped it to 5, so there was kind of a bit more competitiveness.
Yeah, fair enough. Nice.
To try and draw people to more events. But it's been quite quiet the last few. I think this one coming up, they had the sign up set for 30, and there's 24, 26 or something at the moment. So
not done bad then.
Yeah, done pretty well, and I think like there's quite a lot of activity in the southwest and Wales and stuff. And actually, the Welsh guys did a pretty good job. They had like when we went down there a few months ago for their round, they had like not just like your main prizes for your A, B through F, whatever finals. They had like who was like who threw their dummy out the pram, and they had like a dummy to give to them.
Nice.
Who had the biggest tantrum with
the old wooden spoon.
Pretty much. So it was quite a good laugh. So more of that I think is welcomed at events, and I think there's nowhere to go as well. I think so. There's a lot of top guys, and if they get to go, there's not really many international events going on at the moment, so that's kind of stopping them from going any higher. Yeah. So they kind of go do their 5 events. That cool. I'll just go.
They've hit and sit and wait.
Yeah, so wait for nationals and
and
a lot still come to events because they love the racing and stuff. So that's what we'll do, and the social scene's really good. But to be honest, I'm not fast. So
faster than me.
I'm not fast enough to be winning races at the moment anyway. So I go to events because it's good social and the guys are a good crack. And I think if anyone's interested in trying racing, definitely just come along to race. Even just come and watch. So you can see what goes on, because it's totally chill.
That was the first thing I ever did. It was watching it first, and then like I say, I had some goggles on, and I think that was my first feeling of any sort of FPV in close proximity with other people flying at the same time, and just watching someone's video feed off the start line and having another 4 quads in front of you just like stacked up, lining up for the first gate. I was just like, oh my god, that's a buzz. But I was one when I first tried it. It was nerves for me. My hands and my knees. I'd be shaking like mad. Nerves, stroke, adrenaline.
Yeah, it's the same. Like even now, like 5 years in racing, it's like every race, first round, it's like right. Calm the fingers, like make sure, like try and keep as calm as possible. Just get around the track. Yeah, like
that's it. I always remember. So I can't remember who it was now, but it was somebody. It was one of the Hull guys that was just like, I always remember him saying, just fly your own race. Don't bother about everybody else. Don't.
It's probably Will, and he doesn't fly his own race. As soon as he sees something, he's like, oh, go for it. He's out. Like.
I think that was the thing. If somebody came past me, I'd try and up my game to catch them up, and it just wouldn't end well. I'd miss gates, be going back round, hit again, hit a flag, whatever. But if you tried to ignore them, and just flew your route through the course, you just kind of, I don't know. I experienced it a few times, and I did realise I was flying a lot cleaner. And if I happen to get past somebody, bonus. But at that point, I probably got excited and crashed.
Yeah, that's it. I think as soon as there's like, if someone comes past, particularly when someone comes past you, not so much when you, and it can happen when you see someone as well that you're catching up. Like if you see that you're catching them up, suddenly your eye goes off of like the line you want to be off onto where they are. And you either follow them into a mistake or you just follow them offline.
Because you naturally kind of, your eyesight, it's always looking to your next. It's like looking to your next gate, your next flag, and you naturally fly through one, but you're already looking at the next one, aren't you? And like you say,
and you're going so fast, like it's literally a split second. It's like, oh, that's it. I'm at a gate, or just hit something. So I mean, it's better now with like the flight controller firmwares now are just so capable and stuff. If you do clip a gate, whatever, you're kind of recover. I remember when I first started racing, there wasn't turtle mode. Like when I first started racing, it was like if you end up in the grass, like cool, sit there.
Just wait for the end.
2 minutes and
hope your VTX doesn't overheat.
Just cook itself or something set on fire randomly. That was it. And that added more nerves because I can't crash. I can't crash. And that was it. It was just like more survival. Whereas now it's like, okay, I can make that mistake. I've lost time, but I'm still not out of the race.
Can get back in. Somebody else might make a mistake yet.
Yeah.
Nice. It's cool.
No, you should get back into racing. It's good fun.
Yeah, I think I may do. I don't fancy slinging the DJI around a racetrack.
No, they won't let you anyway because DJI doesn't work well.
They'll just swamp everybody.
It doesn't play well with others. No.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It plays well with itself. Like DJI with other DJI quads is
that's
generally
all right.
fine. But if it's DJI with analog, it's like they're not a fan.
Like it. No.
So HD0 and analog are the ones at the moment. There's the video systems that are allowed at most racing events. And we'll see how that changes over the years to come with systems and things. But
yeah, definitely.
But it's all we've tested all these things. Like when there's a new idea or a new system comes out, it's like, can we integrate it with the current racing?
With current stuff. Yeah.
It all gets tried and.
Yeah, I guess that's where DJI have been different, isn't it? They've not really catered for any sort of racing side of stuff with their.
No, I felt like they've just seen like there's a market for this from the cinematic side. And how often you fly with multiple other drones
if you are flying cinematic stuff. Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
Yes. So.
Yeah. But I was just gonna probably conclude this with. As a podcast, we've worked with the Fulford Arms today. They've been kindly let us come down and film. But if there are any independent businesses in York or the Yorkshire area, not too far away, who would like to be featured on the podcast and would happily host us to film an episode, then reach out and let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
And we'll come back again in about a month's time, probably.
Sounds good.
DJI
We'll have something
announcements coming tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true. The Avatar.
Avatar's coming tomorrow. I've heard a few things about it, but I wasn't going to necessarily speculate on here about what I thought was coming. So
there's always the leaks with DJI stuff, isn't there? I'm a fan of DJI. I like the out of the box, and I like the reliability and stuff like that. And I've already got if I can just. If it comes out and it's at a reasonable price, I dare say I'll push the button on it for just the drone only kind of thing. I don't need the controller. Don't need
I think
goggles.
that's it. Yeah, you've got all this stuff.
I think if it comes in at a fair price for it.
Yeah, I think
I'm gutted it's not sub 250, but I don't think it was ever going to be. That would have been 110% buying it.
I think that's going to be a stifle it a lot because of the fact it's not sub 250. I think because of the market they're going for as well.
Yeah.
Particularly in Europe. Like sub 250 is massive, so
it's weird because it's built like it's built
meant to compete with that
Cinewoop style. Yeah. It's built like an indoor.
I don't understand how they
250,
didn't get it sub 250 because it's
like
smaller than Mini 3.
I'm like, what?
It's a Mini 3 Pro. Size, like basically.
I saw an overlay of like a Mini 3 Pro. And with the arms out and the diameter of the props,
and it's quite bigger than the Avatar.
You could fit two in the footprint of the Mini 3 Pro, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty tiny. That's small, so but it's still not sub 250. I was like, I'd have been happy with them sacrificing. 18 minutes supposed leaked.
Wow.
Flight time, that's fantastic. But I think I still would have preferred a 6-minute flight time and sub 250 in weight.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's what you want for most FPV
just buy more batteries.
Who's flying around a place like...
and that's it. It looks like it's built for indoors and it'll do 94 mile an hour.
If you're flying around a house doing real estate, who's flying around a house for 18 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay, fair enough, you can do 3 houses, 10 houses off one battery, whatever. But who's realistically doing that?
Yeah.
Not many people, if anyone.
No.
And it makes you wonder who they consult when they design these things. It's like, surely when they go, all right, we're going to do a Cinewoop, like we do our market research, we go, who's making good Cinewoops? I know, let's look at Gepard, see what they're doing. Oh, they've got their Cinelog range. Oh, cool, wicked. What the flight times they're getting? What sizes is it?
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're just going to aim, we're not even going to aim to compete them on weight, we're just going to aim to beat them on flight time.
On flight time, that's it. They've always been different in that respect.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll know about tomorrow.
Yes, there's a few things I want to find out and confirm, which is it's rumoured there's no acro mode.
Yeah, I heard that. I've heard different.
Different opinions. I think
different rumours.
Again, it depends who it's tailored for. If it's for anyone to pick up to be able to do like some FPV style shooting, that's fine if that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
Kind of. But the other big thing is lack of ND filter support.
Yeah. So
I think.
I heard that, and then I saw. Again, just another leaked image, where you see like the drone and all the kit, and it was like they were advertising a certain combo deal, and it came with a case and 3 ND filters. Okay, because didn't they do that with one of the one of the Mavics. I can't remember. You could essentially buy a combo deal and it came with filters. But yeah, I don't know. A lot to be answered. But
yeah, but I'm excited for the goggles because I'm still running analog for everything. Yeah. So I'm waiting to find out which HD system I'm going to sit down and I'm going to look at all of them. Whether I go. Because it looks like the DJI V2 isn't being discontinued. No. The goggles.
Like, no, I don't think so. Again, I'd heard rumours that they were just going to kick them out in a few like early bundles kind of thing.
Maybe.
Like with the motion controller and
that's
then
what I'm thinking
migrate into new goggles. And
because I nearly bought some the other week and then DJI UK store sold out because they were down to like £489.
Yeah.
Which was a bargain, really.
Yeah. So I do love them. I do.
Yeah, I was tempted to go for them and I kind of kicked myself for not getting them. But then I'm also thinking like, walk snail system is improving, still early days, but they're putting in features from the community. You know, people are asking for these things and they listen and they try and put them in, and
that's it.
I feel like that system could go somewhere. It just needs
people to invest.
That's it, but it's when to invest. Like, do I invest in it early on and then be like rewarded 2-3 years down the line after complaining about it for 2 years, or do I invest in it when it's a complete system and it's it's competitive and for especially for like any commercial use, like DJI just seems to like the logical part of my brain is like DJI for commercial stuff because we know it works. It's tried.
It falls into that category.
It just
definitely.
It just goes.
It doesn't land anywhere else.
Whereas I'm kind of like, well, HDMI out from the goggles with Walk Snail just like off the bat. It's got H.265 encoding, so in theory. You should be able to get 1080p low latency because of the bit rate doesn't need to be as high. All these sort of features. I'm like, it's almost there.
It's on the
almost
cusp.
there.
It's like the tip of the tongue sort of thing.
But if DJI is going to be a lot cheaper and DJI is not going anywhere, especially the V2 setup, like Runcam is still still distributing the Vistas as they stand.
Yep.
And the newer Air units are also supposed to be backwards compatible. Well, they will be because the new one, the Avatar, will be backwards compatible. So
yeah.
It's how long that V2 goggle stays relevant, and whether DJI goes, new firmware update, it's shut out.
Yeah,
it no longer works with it.
And that's one scary thing with DJI. I see it a lot on the forums and groups and stuff. People just being like, "Do not update to this next firmware and stuff," and it's just like. It's some guys will just have a drone written off for 3 months because they're waiting for the next firmware update, and it's So mine worked out of the box when I got it, and I've not updated the firmware since. And it still works to this day. Yeah. So I've not had any faults with it, and the firmware updates haven't been anything due to safety or anything like that. They've just been.
Well, I've got a DJI Mini 2, and I had one the other day. It's like, big update. Oh, what's the update for? Oh, remote ID for Japan. It's like, I'm not going to Japan anytime soon. Yeah, why do I need this specifically on my drone?
That's
it. In Yorkshire.
If it was something major, if DJI stuff was suddenly dropping out the sky left, right, and centre, then I'd probably do it. But
there was a big thing about it taking longer for DJI drones to pick up satellites since like some of the recent updates.
I had that the other day actually.
Like spring,
that's the first time I've heard that. But that's something the last couple of flights I've had I've noticed.
But I don't know whether that's like the way that sort of like the satellite protocols may have changed, or whether it's something
maybe communication wise. It always gets there. It suddenly like goes from like 3, don't take off, 4, getting better, and then it goes to 18 or something, and it's like you're good.
And there are certain times of day, like, I don't know if you've got it, but there's a UAV forecast app or something.
Yes,
it tells you there like not only like the weather but also the satellites available. Yeah, that's it. Times, so.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's
pretty much everything we wanted to talk about.
Yeah. As a first run, right? I think that's been.
Yeah, that's what you get first go. That's how it is.
Yeah.
And we're back again soon with another episode, and hopefully we can talk about some of the newer stuff. Some things coming on. I'm quite excited for Beta Flight 4.4, seeing where that goes. There's some cool features in that coming that I think will be not necessarily useful for commercial stuff, but maybe useful for commercial stuff, but not that. It's more kind of filtering stuff and better flight characteristics and.
Sweet. So I haven't ventured into beta for a long time. I think by the time we do the next episode, I think I need to get a shopping list together for a build. See what you think.
Yeah, that's good. We can go through it.
I'll do some.
I can give you my unsolicited advice on your perspective.
Because I'm a bit of a noob going back into it, so I'll find some bits and bobs and.
That's a good idea.
See what you think, man.
We can do that. Cool.
Sweet.
All right. Catch you next time.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.